Von Karma, where is Mr. Yogi?
Under arrest, Your Honor. I saw no room for error in his confession.
And then, the defendant Miles Edgeworth is...
Innocent, in this case at least.
Very well. Will the defendant please take the stand?
I can't believe we were so quick to beat it. Yay! Yeah!
There are a few mysteries left unsolved. Still, you are cleared of suspicion for this particular case. So I would like to pass judgment on the murder of Mr. Robert Hammond. Any objections?
I don't believe it. Why isn't Von Karma saying anything?
Very well. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth,
not guilty. Confetti! Yeah!
That is all. This court is adjourned.
Oh, we're finished. Thank God. What? We're not finished? Did you like my acting?
Did someone just say objection?
It wasn't Von Karma. Wait, but that means... No! Edgeworth!
NFK. Your Honor, I object to your judgment. As I point... Who is he pointing to? I object to your judgment, Nick. What do you mean? I am not innocent at all. As we have learned, or heard, Yanni Yogi killed Robert Hammond in revenge. But, revenge for what?
Nick! Edgeworth is trying to confess! He's going to say he's guilty! He's going to tell them he was the murderer in the DL6 incident! He's going to tell them he killed his own dad! No, what do I do?
I'm gonna object.
My boy! The judgment has already been passed! I object to Edgeworth's outburst! Didn't something like this happen yesterday too? I believe a certain witness raised an objection after a guilty verdict was passed.
That would be Larry.
We must hear this new statement. We must hear Miles Edgeworth.
He's right. We have a duty to hear Mr. Edgeworth out. Fuck. For 15 years, I have had a recurring dream. A nightmare. It's only a nightmare. That is what I told myself. But now I know. It wasn't a dream. Yanni Yogi wasn't the killer. You mean in the incident where your father died? From the distance of the shot, it wasn't suicide either. Everything was as clear as day. The murderer, the criminal in the DL6 incident. It was me. Your Honor, I confess to my guilt. I am guilty for DL6, the statute of limitations which ends today. The culprit is me! What you can't see is that his finger is actually doing... Oh wait, you can actually see his thumb, but I was gonna say his finger is doing this. I love that there's no other sprite for it, so they just cut it. It's so stupid. Order! Order! This is certainly unexpected. The defendant, declared innocent, is confessing to a different crime? A crime for which the statute of limitations runs out today. I'm not really sure how I should deal with this.
Ah! It's obvious. We hold a trial. Right here, right now. We tried this man for this crime 15 years ago. But we don't have time to prepare. We don't have time to prepare it.
I think I would like to take a 5-minute recess. During this time, I will consider the appropriate course of action to take.
How is this even remotely fair? Even if he is like guilty or whatever, we have the defense, prosecution have no time to even like get all the things they need and do all the investigation they need. I mean, technically we have done what we can. It's just that how would you know? What if this was a surprise to us?
Court is adjourned.
This dumb rule. December 28th.
I'm sorry, Wright. I've just wasted all of your effort. Mr. Edgeworth, I just don't believe it, sir. I mean, you killed your dad?
He did it, Gumshoe, I swear! I didn't want to believe it myself, Detective. But it's the truth. I deserve to be punished. Murder is murder, no matter what the circumstances. This is crazy! Just crazy!
Nick? What are you doing?
Huh? Oh. I was just reading through the court records once more. I'm getting my case ready.
Your case? For what?
Huh? Isn't it obvious? I'm going to prove that Miles Edwards is innocent. Duh, that's my job. What are you talking about, pal? He just admitted to it. He confessed that he did it in court. I'm sorry, Edward, but I don't believe your nightmare. What? It's just a dream. It's not real. Idiot. The truth is right here in this court record. In any case, tighten your belts. The real fight is just beginning. I'll prove you're innocent. Trust me. There is one glaring issue with the evidence that we have related to DL6 that nobody has pointed out yet. That it's the stupidest thing, but maybe I'm saying that because I know what happened. Right. I think I'm in love. I would imagine. I mean, there's no point in saying that if he doesn't actually get him declared innocent. Now then, I would like to resume our trial.
Judge, Miles Edwards has admitted his own guilt. He has confessed to his crimes. Let us begin by hearing his testimony. Then, though pointless, let the defense do their cross-examining. The statute of limitation of the DL6 incident runs out today. Though it's unconventional for me, I'd like to write this one by the book.
I see. Does the defense have any objections? No, Your Honor. Von Karma, you knew this was going to happen from the beginning, didn't you? Whatever. Very well. Will Miles Edward take the stand? I need you fucking assholes to talk faster. God damn it.
Will the witness state his name and profession?
Miles Edward. I am a prosecuting attorney.
Mr. Edward, 15 years ago, you mistakenly killed your father, Gregory Edward. Is this correct?
It is correct.
Then testify about this matter to the court.
When Edward was telling me something about his dream yesterday, I noticed something. One detail didn't quite fit. That will be the key, but only if I can get it to work.
Please, please.
This is where the real shit goes down. That day, I had gone to the courtroom to observe one of my father's trials. Should a third grader be allowed into court to review their dad working? What if they're like dealing with like gruesome murder stuff? You're allowed to just go in. Maybe his father knew what it was, so he just let him in. But like, as we went to leave, an earthquake struck, trapping us in the elevator. My father and Mr. Yogi lost their composure and began to argue. Just then, something heavy fell at my feet. I picked it up and threw it at Mr. Yogi. I wanted them to stop fighting. A moment later, there was a single gunshot, then a scream. It was a terrible scream. I remember it to this day. That's all. And until now, you thought this memory was a dream? We were stuck in that elevator for 5 hours. The oxygen in the elevator ran out, and I lost my memory of the events.
Some claim the same claim Mr. Yogi has made.
Very well. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Yes, Your Honor. I got this, fam. We got this, fam. We got this, Edward. You and me, we're gonna go on a trip to fucking Hawaii after this. Let me save. Not that I need to, but I will. Can I just press everything? What was the trial your father was involved in that day? I don't remember things very clearly. Only 2 things. I know my father lost, and Mr. Von Karma was the prosecuting attorney. Oh my god, what crazy people doing their jobs. Mr. Von Karma, you were handling that case?
It was 15 years ago. I don't remember the details.
That was when Edward pointed out the problem in Von Karma's evidence. As we went to leave, an earthquake struck, trapping us in the elevator. So, there were 3 people, including yourself, trapped in that elevator?
Yes, myself, my father, and Yanni Yogi. We were fine at first. But then as time passed, no one came to help. My father and Mr. Yogi lost their composure and began to argue.
What did you do then?
I was a 9-year-old boy at the time. What could I do? I was scared, trembling in the corner. But then... Just then, something heavy fell at my feet.
What was it?
A pistol. I assumed it was the bailiff's, Yanni Yogi's. The safety must have come off when it fell from his holster.
What a fucking... What? And you picked it up? What happened next?
I picked it up and threw it at Mr. Yogi. I wanted them to stop fighting.
Did you know that it was a pistol when you threw it?
I think I knew. I knew it was dangerous.
So instead of fucking shooting, he just threw it.
But the air was getting so thick. I panicked.
So you're saying that you threw the pistol at Mr. Yogi?
I was in a daze. A moment later, there was a single gunshot, and then a scream.
The gun fired once?
Yes. I think, after I threw it, I lost consciousness. Since then, they've echoed in my head every day. That gunshot and that horrible scream.
The scream?
It was a terrible scream. I remember it to this day.
To this day?
Yes, I can practically hear it now. I doubt I will ever forget that scream as long as I live.
There it is. One part of that testimony clearly contradicts the evidence. But I don't know what it means. I better find out it quick.
Okay. What? Not this. It's not in here, right? One bullet in the heart, murder weapon was fired twice. Oh, is it here? Let me see. Oh, it is this. Okay.
Are you sure you only heard one gunshot?
Yes, I'm sure of that. I heard the shot and the scream. And then everything faded. I was unconscious until the rescuers came.
I see. No, Your Honor. Unfortunately, you don't. Because you're fucking blind. Look at this file one more time. This plainly contradicts the witness's testimony. You do enjoy dragging out that file, don't you?
It's the only evidence I have related to the fucking DL6. Shut up!
I don't accept this evidence unless you can tell us what page it's on.
What page is this on, you idiot? So fucking childish.
Look at the victim data in this file. It says it quite plainly. The murder weapon was fired twice. Miles Edgeworth only heard one gunshot. And yet the murder weapon was fired twice. The first shot was the accidental firing when the pistol was thrown. So, who fired the remaining shot?
Was there perhaps another shooter who fired the second shot?
Your Honor, as I'm sure you're aware, this incident occurred 15 years ago. The evidence is stated. The pistol did fire twice. However, we do not know when the second shot was fired. It might have been fired the day before the incident. There was no proof that the second shot had anything to do with this incident. What?
I see. You do have a point, Mr. White. The murder weapon was fired twice, as we have heard. One of those shots was fired by the defendant, a boy at the time. Do you have any proof that the other shot fired had something to do with the case?
Yes! Your Honor, I think I will be able to show you proof. What? Impossible!
Oh god, sorry. Now, Mr. Von Karma, save your surprise for after you've seen the evidence. Very well, Mr. White. Show us your proof. Do you have evidence that the second firing of the pistol is related to this incident?
Yeah. It's the thing that always bothered me. Look at this photograph. Don't laugh at it, there's a dead man in it.
This is a photograph of the scene of the crime, 15 years ago. I can see that the victim lying there is Gregory Edgeworth.
I'm surprised that him getting shot didn't knock off his glasses. This proves that the murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. This photo proves it.
So let me get this straight. This photo proves 2 shots were fired? Where?
Your Honor, please. Please get a clue. Show the judge the contradiction in the photo. As should be obvious, the contradiction is here.
I see. A bullet hole in the door.
Your Honor, Gregory Edgeworth was killed by a shot from the pistol. Yet, there is also a bullet hole in the elevator door. We also know that the murder weapon was fired twice. Thus, someone other than Edgeworth fired that second shot.
Order! Order! Mr. Wright, what are you driving at?
It's simple, Your Honor. At the time of the incident, 2 shots were fired. One went into Gregory Edgeworth's heart. The other hit the elevator door. Remember that the defendant lost consciousness after the shot he fired rang out. In conclusion, we must agree that the second shot was fired by someone else.
Mr. Wright, but who could have had someone else be?
The murderer, of course. I knew I should have stepped in before your wild fantasies got out of hand. Mr. Wright, look once more at the DL6 incident case file. Look closely. Try the case summary page.
The case summary? That's on page 1.
Look what it's written there. Not a single clue was found at the scene.
You know, I just thought of something. This guy, was it Karma who said it? It's like, that's a pretty thick book you got there, or thick file you have there. Show me what page is the proof or whatever, right? This thing is only fucking 3 pages long. Big file.
If the pistol had indeed been fired 2 times, then the other bullet would have been discovered on the scene.
He does have a point.
The second bullet was never been found. Why? Because the second bullet does not exist. The bullet that claimed Gregory Edgeworth's life was the one fired by his own son. That is the truth of this matter. The whole truth. It was undoubtedly something else that made that bullet hole in the door.
Order! I will have order! Mr. Wright has proven one thing to us quite clearly. That the murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. However, as Mr. Von Karma says, the second bullet fired was not found. It is highly unlikely that the police merely overlooked the second bullet.
Yeah, but when they saw the fucking gunshot in the door, what did they just think it was nothing? They didn't even question like where the second bullet could have gone? Nothing? Incompetent fucks.
So all we have is a single bullet fired. I'm afraid I have to discount the defense's claim.
Tisk tisk tisk. I praise the judge for his wisdom in this matter. How did this happen? I don't believe that the second bullet didn't exist. Was I wrong? Have I been wrong about this whole incident? What are you doing, Nick? Why aren't you raising an objection?
I'm sorry, Maya.
What? It looks like I was wrong. Nick? If the second bullet wasn't there, then all my conjectures are for nothing. No! But you said you'd do it, Nick! You said you'd get Edward declared innocent!
I'm sorry.
It's just, when I saw the photograph, I thought that the 2 shots had been fired. I was so certain of it. I thought I'd won. I thought there was another person, someone else who fired the killing shot. But now, I was wrong to think that it could have been that simple. This case has stood unsolved for 15 years. Nick!
Well, it seems that we have finally cleared up this incident. Only 1 bullet was found at the scene of the crime. That shot was fired by Miles Edgeworth.
Precisely.
I would like to ask one thing of Miles Edgeworth before passing my verdict. Oh, my jaw's starting to get tired. Have you been paying attention to the trial so far?
No.
Can you imagine? Yes, Your Honor. Do you have any objections? No. No, I do not.
So you killed your father, though. Though that was not your intention.
Yes, I did.
Oh no! He's accepted the guilt!
Very well. The statute of limitations on the murder of Gregory Edgeworth runs out today. Therefore, I must pronounce the verdict on the defendant today right here.
Right now!
Indeed. Does anyone have any objections?
I'm tired. I've been here before. I know, I know that I would get tired from this, but like, I'm tired. I've been here before. It's just like my first day in court. There are so many things I know I should be saying, but my mind's going blank, and I can't find the words.
That's right.
I don't even remember what happens here. Do we object? I feel like logically it makes sense to object, but he also was like clearly saying that like, not that I need to, but I will. I want to say I don't, because he clearly says he has nothing, but every lead I thought I had been squashed. This is really the end. Edgeworth, I'm sorry.
Oh, is that how it ends?